to show you how to paint this beautiful basket of daisies. And very simple, easy techniques I'm going to show you because I teach for beginners step by step in real time. So you can paint along with me, and it's much easier for you to learn the easy techniques. So let's get started. Now all you have to do this painting is have a nice little bristle brush. It's about 1/4 inch, and all you need to do is have some paint, and the paint that we have is red, yellow, and blue, and green, brown, black, and white. So your primary colors plus green, brown, black, and white. Now, we'll try to do this background here, in the back of the flowers first. So what I did was, I taped off my canvas so I could work on this area first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into some green, and I'm going to tap into some green, a little bit of yellow. That on here, just to get a background. And just tap that on there. Now you can have any kind of background you want. I'm just going into some green and yellow for now. Just tap, 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 tap. Nice background. So if you tap, you get some nice texture. So you can add more yellow to your green to brighten it up in this area. And just keep tapping away. That nice texture. More yellow than green as you get up here. See how it brightens it up? Some more yellow than green again. See how pretty that is? More yellow than green as you get up here. See how it brightens it up? Some more yellow than green again. See how pretty that is? Good. Just tap around till you get the colors that you want. And then you can go back into just green this time. And leave your brush dirty. And you put in some more greens. See? And as you get up here, you can add probably a bit of white and a little bit of yellow. That'll brighten it up here. We don't want it too pale. So clean your brush off a little bit and get some more green in there. There we go. Good. More yellow. Just go back and forth with your colors so that you can have a mottled look, a mottled look. I think it's a nice, see that nice yellow there? And as you come over here, you can add just green again. So your main color is the green. Tap into green, but when you want to change the color, then you can add something else. Let's go a little bit of blue this time into your green. Just put in some blue and green, and that will bring it into a different color. Good. Add some yellow. See how nice those colors are? Keep tapping away until you get what you're looking for, and as you're going over to the other side, we can probably put some reds in there. Reds. So your base color, always use your base color first. Leave your brush dirty. And then what you can do then is add a bit of red to your green. Okay? And then you got another color. See that? Isn't that pretty? Just keep tapping away. Go into just green this time as you come down here. So like I say, you can do your own colors. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but if you just to help you get it started. Now I think yellow would be nice again, brighten it up. Alright, so some yellow. Leave your brush dirty, it's okay. And that will brighten up this side a bit. So those pretty colors. There we go. Now, add a little bit of red to that to get some reddish colors over here. There we go. Oh, tap, tap, tap. Makes a bit of noise. Maybe something in the way there. Okay, so get that nice reddish color over here. Go back and get some more green. So you're going back and forth with different colors. Greens, reds, yellows. And as you get down here, you can add a bit of blue. And just probably some red into your green. There we go. So just tap, 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 tap. Good. Just keep tapping away. There we go. That nice pretty background. That is nice pretty background. So you guys get your background ready. And we'll move on to the next step. So here we go. So just take your 1-inch tape and put it at the bottom of your canvas. Now, let's just take that off here, and then we will put this 1-inch tape on the bottom of our canvas. Good. So you just line it up there and it's done. See? So now it's protected, and now you're going to get your 1/4-inch bristle brush, and you're going to mix up some purplish color. So this is just blue and red, depending on what color you want. And then what you can do is add some white to lighten up to the color that you want, see? And then just fill that in. How easy that is. See, we're not going to make it hard. We're just going to have some fun. And you can have any color that you want. Mix up more paint when you need it. And more white to keep it. There we go. Now if you get streaks, that's okay, because you can do a second coat on that if you want, okay? So let's just keep putting on our tabletop. I don't know why I thought of purple. Purple is a nice color. Brings your paintings to life when you use purple in your paintings. Yes, I do. So you just put that on there. It may need a second coat, like I said. So we can, if you put yours on and it needs a second coat, you go right ahead. Wait for it to dry first, alright? Just get your purple on. There we go. So I'm going to need a second coat. I can see that right now. Yep. Alright. More white. And don't worry if it doesn't go on exactly the same color purple that you put on before, because, you know, I love paintings where you get all these different values of color come out when you don't worry about it too much. It depends on what you're painting, so that's why I don't get too much into, oh, you got to have it exactly. Because if you want to do exactly the same color you put on here, you're almost better off just going out and buying already pre-mixed paints, and that way you don't have to worry about mixing it all the time. But I rather do it this way. It gives more interest to your painting. You can have all kinds of different shades of purple in your table. See? Some shadows and second coats will even be a little different again, maybe, you know. So, but for this painting, and I don't use pre-mixed colors. I like to mix my own. It's more fun that way. You get to learn. See how that's lightening up? I'm doing that on purpose, actually. I just want maybe, let's say the light is coming in on this side over here. It's hitting over there, so I'll brighten up that side a little more. Alright, so that looks good. So, do your second coat if you need one. And let's move on to something else. Now I didn't put the basket on first because working around a basket, as you can see, now you'd be working around all those flowers, or you'd be working around even just a basket itself can be a bit tedious and a lot of work and long, and you might get frustrated. So I'm trying to make it as easy as I can so you won't get frustrated, so you can just have some fun. So enough said, let's move on to the next step. Now that we have that done, what we can do now is the bottom of the table. So all you have to do is take your tape off. There we go. And to get a nice dark shadowy bottom of the table, I'm going to take some brown, a little bit of black, really darken it up, and some blue, and that'll give us a nice dark color on the bottom. You can add some more brown if you'd rather have brown. And then you take your 1/4" bristle brush, and you will see if you can, there we go, and then you come across and bring it all the way over. A little messy going on, that's okay. Just get that bottom painted in. Get some more paint when you need it. Good. And fill that in on the bottom. Now, that might be too dark. I'm going to add more brown to that. I didn't even mix it, I just took some brown and put it on my brush and went over that again with some brown. There we go. Get as close as you can to the straight line. And then when you fill that in, what we'll do is we'll change our brush. Change your brush to probably a chiseled edge sable brush. Put your paint back on there, and then go up against that line as close as you can. And you can even go up into the line, make some of these little dents in the edge of the table. Just move up into it and back down again. You have a few little bumps, cracks, the edge of your table. There we go, see? Just by moving up and down. So you work on that. It gives you a crooked edge to the table. Might be an old table you got at a flea market. Okay. So, oops, that's a nice big bump there. Just go up and down and keep putting that in there. And you got a nice crooked edge to your table. See? Good. Now when all that dries, make sure it's all dry, and then we're going to draw our basket. Now to draw your basket, you can use chalk or you can use a pencil. So I just used chalk, and all I did was I put a straight line up here first, straight line up here first, and I put a straight line down here, made this line down here smaller than the top one, and then I rounded out the line coming from this line to this line to meet up with that line. You can adjust that if it's out of shape. And then you can just take two lines curved up here for the handle of the basket. And that's all you have to do with that. Simple. Now just take a nice bristle brush or any small brush that you have around that's going to fit into the basket. There we go. And just put in, let's put on our underpainting, which is just a dark brown, a burnt umber, just a dark color brown, and just fill it in and get that started for an underpainting. There we go. You might need 2 coats because where the bottom of the basket sits on the lighter paint, then you're probably going to need a second coat, okay? Because the top part is a bit dark, so that makes the paint darker. That's why some people would rather work around the basket, so they don't have to run into that problem. But I don't mind that problem, it's only just putting on a second coat. So, let's just fill in those areas. There we go. Chalk is good because you can wipe it off with a damp brush when you're finished. That's all. Pretty simple. So just keep putting on that dark brown. You can even add a small bit of black to it if you like to darken up even more. Or blue. Brown and blue makes a nice dark color. See? Now we'll just go over that with our paint. Fill it all in. Good. Like I say, you can use a sable brush or a bristle, as long as it's small enough that you can work with it. Good. And there you go. You have your underpainting done. And then we'll wipe off the chalk when we're happy with this. First, make sure you're happy with your underpainting. If you need a second coat, go and put that on. There we go. Simple. Now with any clean damp brush, let's get rid of that chalk line. My brush is just damp and I'm just wiping it off. You can use tissue. Tissue should work. See? Then you don't have to worry about chalk lines. And that's why I like using chalk when I'm drawing out things on my paintings. Gone. Okay, let's see if we can get this basket started with those little highlights here. Okay, so I think the easiest thing to do would be to get a bit of chalk and let's place some lines here to help us figure out where they go and to keep them into place. So we'll make one little line here and one, we'll make them fairly close together. I don't want to make those small, so we'll make them fairly close together. So let's make those lines like this. And you start coming down straight. You're going with the shape of the basket over here. And then you're coming straight down and down. So just make all your lines. And that'll help you get those highlights on, those shapes, a little easier. Now you can measure these so that you're in perfect distance from each other. But for the video, I'm just going to do a very quick few lines. So we can always get rid of those lines after. So now just take some brown and some yellow. Mix it up to make a nice light brown. So let's take those two lines here together and put touch and touch. Come down a little bit and come down. And make those shapes to make it look more like a basket. So you got one set, and then you can come over to the next line in between here and just follow what you already have done and make those lines again. So I'm just using a flat I got a sable brush, but you could use whatever flat brush you have there. And then we go with another one. So it makes it a little easier to put them together. And when we do our highlights on them, we can shape them up even better, okay? So main thing is to get these on first, so we'll see the shapes. There we go. At least we're getting them on there so that the lines do help a little bit. There we go. Just follow, go across from the other one. In some cases you don't have to go directly across, you can go in between. But for this one, because there's so many different ways of making baskets, painting baskets, and starting to shape up. So we'll just keep going with that. Some brown and some yellow. And let's go with this one here. This distance is a little bit longer. That was just because I didn't measure. There we go. Yep. And if you want them to be more better shapes, we'll go over that with the highlights to shape them up even better. Or maybe this is going to be just a rickety old basket that we found at a flea market, falling apart. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just pushing them in. Push, push, push. I'm just sort of pushing and pushing and wiggling my brush around a little bit just to get them on there. There we go. Touch and push, touch and push, 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 push. Good. We'll keep going on, and then after we get these done, then what we'll do is we'll wait for it to dry, and then we'll erase those lines. Now if you like those lines, you can put them in with paint and then you can leave them there, but I'm going to take them out so I can shape up my little basket lines I'm making here. There we go. Now we got that much done. So we got the middle done. So what we'll do is we will do the edges here. So now we can go on here and touch, go on the edge, touch and push. I want to get the whole edge done. And the other side. Now I'm left-handed, so you may start on the other side and then come over. You know, you can change whatever way you need to do it if you're right-handed. Okay, that's better. Now let's put the top and bottom on the basket. So I got a little filbert brush here. You can use a small flat brush as long as it's small and it's got a flat or round edge, doesn't matter. Put some brown on one side of your brush and yellow on the other side of your brush. And with the brown side down, touch up here, touch at the top, and then come down. Touch and make sort of like a curve. Come down, come down. You may not need to refill your brush if you got it fully loaded until you get probably halfway. Alright. See how it gives it the two colors for you? There we go. If you need to reload, just get some brown on one side and yellow on the other. Brown side down. Touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. Make it a little round. Good. Now with the same brush, small filbert or a flat brush, take some brown on one side and yellow on the other again. So it's brown on one side and yellow on the other. And with the brown side down, take your brush, start at the top and come round and down, touch over and down, touch over and down, or curve your stroke. Start at the top and move over, touch over and down. And we'll shape all this up and fix things up as we go along. Just want to get the basics in first, okay? And that's that much done. Now just take a clean, damp brush, any kind of brush, and just let's get rid of those chalk lines. There we go. It's supposed to be damp brush. I don't know where all that water came from. There we go. Now, see? Great using chalk. If that was paint, you'd have to paint over it. It's a lot easier that way. Now we're going to highlight the basket again. So let's make these a little brighter and we can shape them up even a little bit better. So let's take a bit of brown, but let's put some yellow on one side and brown on the other like we did before. See how that works out. I like experimenting and trying things. So I'm going to put the brown side down. You just take one that you think needs to be, oops, brown side down. That needs to be adjusted, and you push over and over. There we go. That gives it a better shape. Get some more paint if you need it. Brown on one side and yellow on the top. On the other side. Touch and pull. See, doesn't that look much better? Good. So let's try a few more. Brown on one side, yellow on the other. I'll show you in case you're saying, I'd like to see that. Let's see. Here we go. Brown on one side of your brush. Brown on one side. And then yellow on the other side. So now you got brown and yellow. And the brown side down. We'll work our way over. You can start on the other side if you're right-handed. There we go. And that will shape up your basket a bit better than what I have there. Not you, you probably got it perfect. Okay, so we'll just shape that up. Good. And you're going to continue doing that until you get it all finished. And if you want more highlights on it even after, you can do it again. If you need to shape it up or get something a little better. There we go. Now let's try some of the, you can't see it here, but there's some underpainting of foliage, you know, and for the flowers, leaves and stuff, but we're just going to do a very quick, easy background to get something started in here where we're going to put our flowers. I got a bristle brush. I think that's a 1/4 inch, and I got a couple of different color greens on my palette, light one and a dark one and some yellow. So you can use the lights and darks. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to tap into some green and a lighter green, back and forth until you get the light green and the dark green on your brush without mixing it together. And then you're just going to tap on your foliage very lightly so that you won't get, so that you'll get some of these nice bits of foliage coming up here. So do it again. Okay. Now your background is probably going to mix in with it also, but we're going to make that stand out. Come down around the side, maybe there's some, let's try just a lighter color this time. See how you get the darks underneath there? So start off with 2 colors of green and then end with a lighter color green and now some yellow into your green and make it even some more brighter colors there every now and then. So that gives you a bit of foliage there. Let's do the other side. So your brush is dirty, that's fine. Start off with some dark green and some light like you did before, and tap gently, very gently. Now you need a bristle brush, I think, because it gives you that nice. Now there's another thing you could use, a sponge. If you want to try sponge, let's go down on this side here. Try different things that you have around. Don't give up if you don't have the proper brush. You think you don't have the proper brush. Some more light colors, some yellows and greens. Get them over here too. Alright, if that's too bright, let's go back with some dark green. Tap over it. See, it's not easy to make a mistake. Alright, I'll leave that little bit there. And a little bit coming down over the basket. You know, we'll add some more after. So that's that part. So I got a sponge here, and let's give it a try anyway, just see. So just dip into some of your dark green. Alright, some of your dark green, some of your light green, some of your yellow. Just tap into 3 of them all together. And if it's too much yellow, just go back and get some more green. And try this. That's not too bad, see? So try whatever you have. Don't lose out on doing these videos, whether it's with me or other people, if you don't have what they say for you to have. If you want your painting to be almost exactly like theirs, then you will need the colors that they say. But if you want to do your own type of painting, then you can certainly choose your own colors. If you don't have the greens that they say, a sap green, then use some other green, whatever you have. Sap green's usually dark, so you can get a dark green if you have it. And if you don't have a dark green, add a bit of blue to darken it up. So lots of ways. Just keep learning, and you'll be able to do any video or any art book, tutorial books, anything. You'll be able to do anything. Even if you're looking at oils, you'll be able to transfer it into an acrylic painting. So that's that much done for now. Now take the back for the petals. We'll do something else, but for the back of your a tiny brush, let's take a tiny brush or a toothpick, and you're going to tap into some red and some yellow. And you are going to make these little dots because you just want to decide where you're going to put all your flowers, all your, reload if you need to, where you want your daisies. So just tap those in to get that started. We'll do a few, and then we can always put more in after. Okay, so that's that part. Now all we have to do to make the petals is, let's put a tiny bit of green on our brush and wipe it off in your tissue because we don't want too much green. And then we will put white on both sides of our brush. It's a very small flat brush I have here. You can use an angular brush. You can try a filbert or even a small round brush. Now, to make your petal, just make one petal on the top, touch and come down. Make another one over here, and another one over here, and another one over here. So pick up some more white on your little brush, and then you can put more petals in between the ones you just did. We need more white to brighten it up. We'll get that too. We may have to do a second coat. There we go. Just touch and push in and pull it towards that little center dot. There we go. And some more white. Find another dot and touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, and then put some in between. And get some more paint if you need it. Good. And you can put as many, close them up a little bit. If you're finding the brush too big, just get a smaller brush. And you just keep playing with it until you get your petals in. There we go. This time I'm going to try a small round brush. Try some different brushes in case you can't seem to get anywhere with the one that you used. So start with your 4 lines. Touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, and then put some in between. That'll be a lot easier for you. There we go. You can have any kind of flowers you want, but I call it a basket of daisies, so I'll put daisies in there. There's another little one here. Alright. There we go. Another little one here. So touch and pull in. Good. And we can do up the centers a bit more after that. So put in all your daisies. Load up your brush when you do a daisy. Touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. See, I got the 4 lines first. And then I'm just going to put them in between. Okay. Hard when you're standing up. And you're to the side. So put in all your daisies, as many as you want. Let's see what that looks like. And if you want a daisy that just has a few on the bottom instead of on the top, like they're hanging down, you put them on the bottom instead of on the top. So we'll keep putting in our daisies, and you can try different brushes, like I said. Put white on your brush. Find your little dots that you put in there. Put your daisies in. There we go. Touch and pull in towards your little dot, your little center. Good. And you can, like I say, try different brushes. That way you won't have to worry about not being able to do a painting. So I'm just going back and forth with different brushes. I'm just going to try this round brush again. Let's see. Let's just go with this and this and this, and this one's out over that. And there we go. Whoops. Just put in your lines after you put your 4 guide lines in. Shape them up. Good. And you can put daisies in over here. You can probably just put one in like this. Just pull in and pull in. Just so it's a little different. Let's see what other kind of daisy can we do. Let's just do one that will hang down over this here. So you can have them hanging down, or you can have them just a little taller on one side a little shorter. The shorter ones, just touch and pull in. That was a funny looking one there. So, then you can put some daisies in. Just touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. Just 3 little leaves, petals. And we can put in another one over here. Start at the top. When you get your center, you can use that as a guide. There we go. So you got your 4. And then the ones in the middle. Good. And like I say, you can touch them up and put them in whatever way you want them. Good. Now the other thing is you can, if you run out of your centerpieces, figure out where you'd like to have another one. So I'm going to put one here, and maybe one on the here, maybe one here, and a few up here. So I'm going to put dots everywhere, and then we're going to fill them in with daisies. You do the same. Just put your dots on. And have as many daisies as you want. And wherever those dots are, that's where you can put your daisies. Good. So go ahead and put your daisies on. So we can put in more daisies. I have one here. And I'm just going to put one over here. Just a small one. I'm probably just going to put in a few little daisies falling down like this. Touch and pull. And probably another little one here. You can just put your center in before or after, but I like putting my center in first because it helps guide me. Maybe we'll put one here on the floor. On the tabletop, I should say. There we go. And maybe another one over here. Just pull in towards your flower. Towards your stem. There we go. And we can put a little bit of white and tiny bit of green. Just make a few little touch. Maybe a few little petals fell off or something. Touch, touch, little touch. Just a few little petals fell off. And let's see, where else can we put some? Let's try one over here. Alright, so let's put one over here, here, here. Let's just keep it all on one side for now. A couple of little ones sticking out there, but I just want to keep it kind of sort of something like that. And let's just do something else. Let's just put a few leaves in here. So let's take a small flat brush. It can be a flat brush or it can be a filbert. So as you can see, I have some leaves in between those flowers. And I have some little blue ones in there too. So, and some of those nice little stringy things there. Twines coming out. So let's try some of that for now. You can put in as many flowers as you want. So I'm just going to put, let's see, how about some light green on one side of your brush and yellow on the other side, okay? And to get those nice leaves, you're just going to touch and pull. Now you can touch and pull up, or you can touch and pull down. So nice long lines with a nice long liner brush. Drag your brush, one side of your brush through green and the other side of your brush through yellow. And make sure your brush is not too dry. And then pick a spot where you want your lines to come out. So just touch and pull out these really skinny lines. If you need more water, just get some more water. Pull through your yellow and green. And maybe we'll have one coming out of here. There we go. Let's try some more. Maybe there's one coming out this side. I'll make a little twirl every now and then. Run through green, run through yellow. And maybe there's something coming down here to match up with that little flower there. Maybe there's some hanging off of here. You can pull it over to that one there if you like. Just have them coming off wherever you want. Have a few coming out of here. And here, and maybe a couple more up here. Good. Some yellow and green. There we go. So you can have as many as you want. A few little ones hanging off of here. Just hanging down over the basket. Good. Maybe one hanging out of here. Wherever you want them. Good. So there we go. Lines everywhere. So if you want it a little more full, just take your greens, and you can add more foliage out here, wherever you think you might want more flowers. I just noticed that it was a little skinny, so I mean you can look at my video, but you can also make it, you know, much fatter than what I have here. So if you found it that you want more foliage, just put on some more foliage on the sides here. And then you will be able to add more flowers. Because you can follow the foliage. It's good for help guide you along. So if it guides you along, then it won't be so hard to find out where you want your flowers. And it's the same thing. You put your little center pieces on first, and then you add your flowers. So just put your center pieces on. There we go. So let's put one here, here, and here, and here. Maybe one down there. Who knows? Who knows? It's your world. Yes. Now take your brush, small flat brush, or, I'm sorry, and just put some white on your brush, small flat brush, and make your petals. You might need a smaller brush than this one. Oops, and then one down here, and one on the side, and then in between. Alright. So I'm just doing a little quick so that you can get yours done. There we go, and another one here, 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 and here, and here, and here. I would adjust some of these. That looks like a funny one there. I'm going to use another brush because that brush didn't do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to get my round brush. My small round brush I find work better for me. I try different brushes just to see what works best. And then when I find one that works best, then I'll use that one. I'll come back to this one after. So I won't do anything right now. There's one over here. And get that on there. Good. Maybe one right here. good. And maybe one right here. Good. Let's see. So you can keep adding those all over the place. I just put the petals on this side. You don't have to have them always rounded out. You can have them just on the bottom if you like. See that? Just 2 little petals I put there. Good. Ignore this one over here. It looks terrible. I'll fix it up later when I shut off the video. Okay, so like I say, I do my videos, mistakes and all. Alright, so you can add even more than that if you want. And if you want to add some blue flowers, just put some blue on one side of your brush and white on the other. Blue and white. I'm just using my round brush. I'll put some blue flowers in here. Just touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. Same as little leaves. Not doing anything fancy. Alright. Just to get some blue color in there. You don't even have to have that if you don't want to. You know, you can put different things in there. Just touch, touch and pull. As long as you got blue on one side and white on the other, you'll have some pretty little flowers. Touch and pull. Touch, or even just touch if you want. Right, there we go. I need some more white. Touch. And touch. More blue. A little more blue in here. A little bit of blue here, here, here. Just touching. See? Touch, 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 touch. Yep. See little petals and all kinds. That's how what fills it in and makes it look really thick. We're almost finished now, so the only thing I left to do is a shadow. Okay, let's just get a flat brush. Flat sable is fine. And some blue paint. And some red paint to give it a purplish look. And a bit more blue and red. But you still want to have a purplish look, so we'll go on the bluish side. Let's add some water so that it's almost transparent. We don't want it to be. Alright, so with some blue and red paint and a little bit of water, I'll put a little bit of a shadow underneath here just to give it. Now see, I got too much water. Look at that. So be careful with that, guys. Tap your brush off. I forgot to tell you. Hope I don't ruin your painting. Okay. It's a little bit of a shadow here. You can add a little bit of red to that. And a little bit of water. Tap it off in your tissue. And scrape it out a little bit. Just so we can get a little bit of shadow here. A little bit going on in the background here. And underneath the flower. Underneath the flowers. Just to give it some interest, that's all. That's all. That's all. So, I'm making up this as I go along. When I did the other painting that I showed you, I just made it up as I went along. I didn't look at any pictures or anything. I just wanted to see what I could do. And, you know, I don't want my arm to get in the way, but... So, you come over here in the back. And you put a bit of a shadow over here. A little bit under here. Close to here. That's why I don't like working around these little small. And they don't have, the shadows don't have to be closed up. You can spread them out a little. Let's bring this one back here. Good. Underneath that little petal. And just scrape off whatever's on your brush there. Just scrape it off on your canvas as if you're trying to clean your brush. Alright, so we're almost done here now. There we go. A little bit darker on this side. I know the light's on that side though. Still can be in shadow. Okay, so we will so if the light is coming on this side, this is where most of the light will be, but it still hit there and end up with a little shadow there. So most of the shadow will be back here. So you can put more shadow back here. See, it depends on what way the light is hitting. It actually have to be there to see where the shadow is. We'll just play around with this. I'm just going to leave some open spaces because the light is kind of all over the place. And I think I'm going to call that finished, even though it's not really totally finished. I could come back and start doing more work with it. Could probably do some more highlighting in here. You could put more flowers in. You could brighten up your flowers. Just so much you could do. You know, you could just bring in some more light here. You know, just little extra touches can help your painting so much. You know, just because I call it finished don't mean that you got to stop. I'm just calling it finished for the video. But if you want to keep adding these little touches, like if you have flowers that need some extra lights, put them in. See? Look around and see what other little things you need. Just keep playing with it and brightening it up and layer your paints, brighter and brighter colors. Right? And then you get some really nice bright colors. And then it's all done, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure things out because it's already done now. So I'm going to leave that and let you go and paint, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy painting, everybody.